I've come back to this island because I think this is where I want to live. I think if I can get up here, this could be a nice place to set up a more more permanent place of residence that we can use as our first proper homestead in the Wood Age. There's a lot of space. In terms of the way I'm protected in this early ages, I think this is going to be beneficial because it's going to be easier to defend. It's going to be easier to light up. And I think it could potentially become a really cute little wooden paradise. It's already got a lot of trees here. But what I want to do before I leave now, I will go back to the place where we have already set up. But what I want to do first is plant some more trees here and hope that this island is within my render distance so that when, maybe later in this episode or potentially next time, we return to make this home, I can have other woods, because the oak is nice, as is the birch. I will be doing a lot with them, but spruce is my favorite to build with. So if I can have a couple of these just dotted around the island for when I return, that will be nice. I like the location of the island in this sort of, it's not a valley, I don't know what you'd call it geographically, but it's kind of like a bowl flanked by mountains and hills, with nice valleys near it that, yeah, I can really see this becoming home. So now that them trees are planted, I shall be heading back to my initial place, and hopefully we're in range for them to grow. Today, I think I would like to flesh out my armor a bit more, because we've currently just got a tunic and some boots. Some leggings and a helmet would be quite beneficial, I think. And I would also like to potentially start gathering some more materials. We have this set of wooden tools that limits the materials we can gather, but I haven't quite utilized it to its fullest yet. So we can still get some sand, we can get some gravel, we can get some clay and stuff, which will all be quite useful, I think, especially for building and making home. Speaking of home, there is our campfire doing exactly what I had hoped it would, and acting as a beacon. Since I recorded the last episode, I have got a new microphone. Let me know how that sounds. I'm still trying to tweak it and hopefully improve it, and hopefully it will get better with time. My fear is that it might be a little bit echoey compared to the last one, because my room isn't the most padded of places. But yeah, I've also played around a little bit with the game volumes, just to try and really lean into the relaxingness of it. I have the music on constantly now, and Some more spruce saplings. I forgot I chopped down a spruce tree from here. That's useful. That's good. And there's actually another spruce tree over here, which I shall also chop down now. No chicken. That's a shame. Okay. I've had a couple of comments on the last few episodes, which, firstly, I didn't really expect to get any views on these. So to see that you guys are watching and enjoying it enough to actually engage with me a little bit, that's really nice. Thank you for the comments. I do read them all, and I try to respond to as many as I can. But one has really stood out, and it came from Lewis Morehorn. I hope I'm saying that right. And they have said about the way that I'm playing kind of makes this tool here, the wooden axe, or the wooden pickaxe, pretty redundant, which is a fear that I absolutely had when I started this, because the wooden pickaxe is only really used to get 3 bits of stone, and then you make a stone pickaxe. Obviously, I'm not allowing myself to do that just yet, and he has suggested that we do use it because it can still be used to gather coal. And this, as I have said in the last couple of episodes, is an issue that I also have thought about. Lighting. At the moment, I'm using torches very sparingly. We have one on Sean's tree, as sign of respect for him. I have 2 in my house, and that is it. Now, I think I am going to allow myself to mine coal with this pickaxe. But I'm still not gonna use stone for anything. I would like to keep that until I move on to the Stone Age. And that is more to actually force myself to think differently about the way I play. You know, without stone, I still can't have furnaces and stuff. But it also means that when it does come to building, a restricted palette is sometimes a good thing, because it forces creativity when you are limited in your materials. And it's a challenge that I kind of like the idea of. I do really like trying to figure out new ways to play this game, and that is something that I have been doing since the beginning of this series now, and trying to figure out new ways to enjoy the game and enjoy the little things. And I think still limiting the stone is gonna absolutely be one of the ways that I do that. But in order to not completely make this stone pickaxe redundant, I shall be allowing myself coal, which also then allows me to make more campfires should I need to. It also makes, torches, like I have already said, more available. And to be fair, I think that's kind of all that coal is used for at this stage. But yeah, I think given the pickaxe of purpose is definitely needed. I'm going to sleep now, and then in the morning we shall head out to try to find some cows, I think. I have no idea where cows spawn. I assume they spawn in every biome, but I don't know if it's more likely in others than it is some, and in some than it is others, however that's supposed to be said. Plains biome sounds about right, I think. I mean, horses. They drop leather, right? There's some bees over here now. Ooh, cherry trees. Maybe I'll grab some cherry saplings so that cows. Cherry saplings so that I can, I don't know, have cherry trees as well. Cherry wood might be useful. I don't think I've ever used cherry wood before. It's not really my kind of color palette. I prefer the muted tones of oak and spruce, and stone and gravel, to be fair. Where? But yeah, you know what? Let's go and get some cherry trees, some cherry saplings. I am aware that I am now almost definitely out of range of them spruce saplings on my island. So the chances of them growing are pretty slim, I think. At least when I'm over here. I'd like to think that back at home I'm not too far away. But this hill might be useful for me as well to see some more cows, maybe. Right, let's see if we can see some more cows from up here while these leaves decay. Oh, horses! That'll do. That'll do nicely. And then maybe some more cows would have spawned over there by that point. By the time we have humanely disposed of them. Oh, there's a cow with them as well. That's good. And there's some coal over there. I might go and grab that. There we go. How many of these do I need? 3 or 4 maybe? Not many. There's 3. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do me nicely. Right, let's go and get this coal. yeah, I think using the pickaxe to get coal is probably okay. I'm still not gonna completely abuse it, and I'm not gonna mine any of the stone. 2 coal. There we go. Because we don't need a lot of coal. It's just surface coal. That I think is also going to be the thing. Only on the surface. So if it's in the side of a mountain, or maybe we come across a little hole like this, I think that would be perfectly fine. But any deeper, see where it starts to get dark? I think that is going to be my limit. Because that will be for future exploration once we have fully mastered the wood age. Oh god, oh wow, 21 health. Do the horses... Ah, the horses have different amounts of health. Okay. I know nothing about the horses in this game. I know that they were a big part of the last update, but I kind of assumed that they all had the same health at least. I guess not. They have a very kind of haunting squeal when they die though. Oh, there's loads of them. Okay, let's finish off these horses and then see how much leather that leaves us. I don't even know how much leather I actually need. We now have full set of leather armor, and I am just cooking up some of the beef that we managed to get. Now, I think that I need to start on that house, on the island. And I think once we have somewhere that I can actually call home, rather than just a hut by half a farm, I think then we will really start getting into this. So, I'm going to cook up this meat, then I'm going to head back over to the island, where hopefully some of the spruce trees will have grown, and I'm going to start clearing out some space for where I want to build my first proper home. Oh. Didn't mean to do that. I just wanted to cook my beef. I don't think you can burn it on here. It'd be cool if you could. That would be interesting. Maybe if it was burned, it just gives you a little bit less hunger. Might be interesting. I'm gonna bring some of my materials here. Actually, I'm gonna bring all of my wood logs, just so that we can actually start moving everything over there as well, because it would be nice. I will come back to this, and I will leave this shed. But yeah, for now I want to just go and set up my actual base over on that island. Because it's not too far from here. And I'm actually going to see if I have... I don't. I was going to say I'll bring some wool and make a bed over there so that I can stay there a few nights. But we'd have to get lucky and hope that we can find some sheep along the way. And this should be a beautiful opportunity for us to sit and have another chat, like last time. It was quite nice to be able to just talk while walking. And as I walk over there again, sheep. And as I clear out some space on the island, it'd be nice to talk. How are you? How are you doing? Everything okay? I hope everything's okay. I know you can't reply yet, but let me know. Be nice to know you're doing okay. Honestly, I'm tired at the moment. I'm very tired. I've had a long day at work. And what better way to relax and unwind than to play some slow Minecraft, you know? Very nice. Music is incredibly soothing. The sun. We haven't had much sun here today. It's been quite overcast. Yeah. It's been quite a tiring day. So honestly, I'm looking forward to just chopping down some trees and forgetting about the outside world for a little bit. Judging by that, I'm going to assume that this wasn't in my render distance to grow these trees, so that's fine. They should grow as I chop down these trees. Now, this is our island. The perimeter of it, I think this would be the sort of southeast side, or southwest. That's east. That's west. That's south. So this would be the southwest side. Is a pretty nice spot. I like to think about the positioning of my builds, of where I live, of the surrounding area quite a bit. I actually have a degree in architecture, which I spent 4 years getting. And I like to try and apply real world logic to video games as well. Ooh, it's starting to rain. Beautiful. And we've established that this is the east side. This might be a pretty nice spot for home. See what the terrain's like, because I don't want to be doing too much terraforming. Or maybe here. But facing north isn't really that good. Like I said, the sun's going to go there, and I want to see that. I don't really want to be facing the north side. So what's the south side looking like? The south side could be worked with. We could flatten this. Yeah. I think this would be a nice spot. Let's start chopping down some trees. And get to work. I broke my axe. Let's make a new axe and then get to work. Okay, I have planned out a little bit of how I want this first home to actually be. So I have here laid out the footprint of it. It's just a standard rectangle. But I have an idea of what I want to go for. And I think it fits the way that this kind of wood age feels. Now, as I'm playing, using everything wooden feels very primitive. And it reminds me of, well, actually, I've been watching a series called Vikings. And I'll be honest, this way of playing Minecraft kind of feels very similar to the way that the Vikings lived, with all their wooden sort of huts and homes. They didn't have very good technology at all, but they were still some of the most successful ancient can you call them ancient, historic civilization to ever own this world. And they were absolutely the most feared warriors of their time. And that's kind of what I want to achieve before moving on to the Stone Age. So I think this game, or this early stage of Minecraft, is gonna resemble very much the way of Viking living, with farming being our main source of produce and our main export, and wood being our main construction. So with that in mind, I think I'm gonna start with building my house, and I will be back potentially when it's done. We'll see how far we can get with it at least. I think I'm gonna chop this tree down first, and then we shall jump into a small building montage, and hopefully you'll see what I kind of envision, and hopefully it might help you understand the Viking feeling a bit more once I have built my home. It's also a great sign that spruce tree grew, because I wasn't sure if these would actually grow when I've been here for a while now. So it is a good sign that one did. So I'm actually going to plant a couple more first, and then we shall the sun's setting, then we shall get into building our first official home. Or I guess that one was technically officially our home, but our new home on this new island. Okay, we have now built a home. Look at that. I hope you maybe now you can see what I mean by Viking inspiration, you know, this kind of A-frame wood hut. It's got a little bit of texturing in there, not too much. I'll probably go in and add a bit more. Oh no, it looks okay. From the back, it looks a bit bare at the moment. And on the inside, it doesn't actually have an inside yet, but I shall do that. Probably off camera. But for now, all I wanted was the actual setup, and this tree has just spawned in. I've done it so that it faces east, so that in the morning when I wake up and I come outside, I've got the nice sunrise, and that's the only 3 windows that it will have, because I plan to put back a fireplace with my campfire, so that again, when we're coming back from our journeys, it has the smoke signal still. So that shall be nice. I need to maybe patch up the back a bit and add. And once it's got the fireplace in, it should be okay. I've moved I moved these back here for the cinematic shot, I'll be honest. But yeah, I think that is a good enough spot to now leave this episode. Probably a shorter one today. I mean, this took a long time. It is now day 26 in the game. Because I didn't have nearly enough materials when I started. And I had to wait for the trees to grow, and I had to chop down a lot of trees. I don't know how many wooden axes I've now gone through. But I will continue chipping away at it. And then I'll sort out the interior for it as well. Put in a nice flooring, and next time it should be complete, and we can move on to starting to actually inhabit this island rather than just live on it. And I think there is absolutely a difference between the two words before you question it. We need to move our farm here, and I'd like to set up some other farms. Maybe start, there's loads of fishing spots around, and maybe have a fishing dock or something. I think connection to mainland is going to be a big thing, and I'd like to start lighting up the area as well. So we've still got loads and loads of things that I would love to do before moving on to the wood, moving on from the wood to the Stone Age. Yeah, for now, we have our little A-frame house now, and this is kind of the style that I'd like to continue throughout the rest of this age, with just the raw wood. I did toy around with spruce, and we've used a bit of it here in the stripped spruce, and the details are all spruce, but I quite like the standard oak wood. I think it's quite nice. I mean, it's very nostalgic as the classic Minecraft music plays in the background. Yeah. Beautiful. I've realized I've missed a button up there, so I shall put that in. And as I do this, say goodbye. I hope you have enjoyed. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Please let me know what you think of this building style, and maybe any ideas you might have for my little island here.